paperboy, evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
That was Kyle's opening. The April show marks the second to last show of Monthly Rewind Season 22, which is very sad for all of us to hear. But we'll get started with my segment on post-Disney depression, talking about how the seniors are coping with the end of senior trip.
When you're fast asleep, in dreams you will lose your heart.
Not too long ago, the seniors of Washington Township High School were walking through the parks of Walt Disney World. Senior trip is something that the class of 2018 have been waiting for since the moment they entered high school as baby freshmen. Well, class of 2018, senior trip is sadly now over, along with senior years soon to come. We spent our days in Orlando getting poured on in Animal Kingdom, traveling through different countries at Epcot, eating humongous donuts and drinking butterbeer at Universal Studios, getting soaked at Typhoon Lagoon. Wait a minute, it was too cold for the water park that day, so we actually spent it riding Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. We spent that night crying to Piano Man at our new dance location of the Indiana Jones Stunt Show, meeting princesses and crying to fireworks at Magic Kingdom, and we ended our trip splishing and splashing at Typhoon Lagoon. Seniors told me what their favorite part of the trip was.
My favorite part in senior trip was like going to Magic Kingdom and being with my friends and just having a good time.
I'd say that roller coaster that I went on in Animal Kingdom. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really fun.
Seeing Matt get groovy on the dance floor.
Once the seniors returned back home to boring old New Jersey, they started suffering from post-Disney depression. They showed their PDD by looking back at our pictures from the trip, watching our Snapchat stories over and over again, and some of us even go the extreme and start planning our next trip to Disney, even if it's just pretend. I mean, Grand Floridian, anyone? Everyone agrees that senior trip is the best week of your life, but also the most exhausting week. Seniors gave me their views on what they thought of the trip.
I thought the trip was amazing, especially like the dance. I love the dance.
I thought it was fun. It was a good time.
Overall, I liked it. The only thing about it that I didn't really like was that it rained a little bit, but that's about it. I loved everything else.
People may say to us that it's just Disney, but it's so much more than that. It's one of the last moments we all have together as a class, up until the final moment we'll all have together at graduation in just 2 short months. While we swayed away to Piano Man, we crossed arms with people we may never even knew existed and saw some people cry that we didn't even know could cry. We also realized that senior year was actually coming to a close really soon, and senior trip was a great way to spend one of the last moments we'll get together as a class.
Yes, I am happy. We got to spend a week together, and after graduation we might not see everybody else again, so I'm happy that we got to spend a long time together.
Yes, I'm happy that we spend time as a class to go down to Disney. I feel like I got closer with most of my friends, and I'm happy about that.
All in all, what they say about senior trip is true. It is the best week of your life. We were also very happy that we got to escape Elsa's eternal winter back home and got to spend a couple days in sunny Florida for a little bit. Now the senior trip is over and we navigate back to our normal routines and suffer from post-Disney depression. We look back at the memories that we made throughout the trip and celebrate our last hurrah together as the class of 2018 before we hit the end, and the memories we made throughout the week in Disney World will be in our hearts forever and ever. From Monthly Rewind Season 22, I'm Alexa Muter.
Just look
You just watched Alexa's segment on post-Disney depression. Every year, opening day of baseball is one of the biggest things in sports industry. Watch my segment to see how it all went down this year. April 1st marks the first day of the long-awaited MLB opening day. Teams face off for the first time in 2018 season, with the Houston Astros being the World Series champions. There are some high hopes for their team this year. With all the excitement, I asked a few fans what they're most excited for in this year's season.
I'm excited for the Phillies, how they have a young team, and I'm excited how they're going to turn out this year.
I'm actually most excited for the Phillies. They got a young team. I think they're going to have a little resurgence from last year, and get back on the right track. They had some early game struggles, and I think they kind of figured it out with the rotation, and their lineup is young and talented. So I'm looking forward to see what they do towards the middle and end of the year.
I'm always excited for the trade deadline. I love the trade deadline every year. A lot of big moves get made. A lot of big names get shipped to different places for teams to make a playoff push. Pretty exciting time of the year.
This season will be marked as the 147th MLB season. Before the game, in every stadium, to show the appreciation and respect for the game, the announcers take the time to announce each member of the team, both home and away. This makes the beginning of the season start off correctly with plenty of sportsmanship and just shows the passion that everyone has for the game of baseball. With the season just underway, I asked a few fans who they think the team with the most potential is this year.
The team with the most potential is the Astros, I think, because they have a bunch of young talent and they won the World Series last year.
Most potential, I think, is the Houston Astros. Again, they're young, they're coming off a World Series, but they have a good group of guys, especially in their lineup. They're probably going to be a 100-win team and probably find their way back into the World Series.
I think the Yankees have the most potential. 5th youngest team in the league, and they have the 2 best power hitters in Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, plus the best catcher in baseball, Gary Sanchez, and arguably the best shortstop, Didi Gregorius. So they have a lot of potential to fill because they could definitely make a deep run with the playoffs.
Another great thing that most fans look forward to is the team that is the underdog, essentially the team that isn't supposed to do so well in the season but end up making a huge run in the playoffs. With that being said, I asked a few people who they pick as their underdog for this year's season.
My sleeper pick is actually, I really think the Phillies could be a sleeper. I think they can compete for the division and maybe find their way in a wild card if they're not at the top of the division by the end of the year. They got a young group of hitters that are only going to get better, and their pitching staff is kind of coming together. So I think they're a couple pieces away from being a top level team, but they definitely have some potential towards the end of the year here.
My sleeper pick is the Marlins because I like the colors, and I think they're going to have good talents coming in late to the season.
My sleeper pick for this year is the Philadelphia Phillies. Pitch has been great so far. They got to get the bats around, but they're looking decent so far, and I think they can make the wild card as a playoff team.
With mascots now being a huge part of the MLB, I asked a few fans if they can narrow it down to one favorite mascot that they have.
My favorite mascot is Orbit from Houston Astros. Guy's just sick. Green, pretty cool guy.
My favorite mascot is definitely the Fanatic. Obviously, being a Philly guy, the Fanatic is absolutely outstanding. He's great with kids. He's great with the women, older people. He brings a lot of energy. So the Fanatic is definitely my favorite.
All in all, with the season just underway, baseball fans have a lot to look forward to. Just about maybe the food or the game, or maybe just the experience. This is Dominic Murphy reporting for Monthly Rewind Season 22.
That was Dom's segment on MLB opening day. Now here's my segment on Washington Township High School's annual dance concert, showcasing the talent of the dancers and what they've been working towards all year. The dance concert is an annual concert put on by Washington Township's high school's dance department and dance company. It is put on by the dance teacher Christina Richardson along with Issa Jackson, who directs the school's program. It is one of the biggest events held by the school, and it is very looked forward to by the dancers and the audience. This year's theme of the dance concert was 15. The themes of each dance were very diverse, showcasing the versatility of the dancers. Washington Township High School's dancers speak about their opinion on this year's theme.
This year's theme was 15 because it's our 15th 15th annual concert, and they had alumni come back, so I thought it was really cool to see all people from the past years.
I love this year's theme of the concert because we could do any theme and like repeat some themes from before, so it was just really cool to have all different kinds of themes in there.
I thought this year's theme was really good because we could use all the different themes from the past years, and it gave us a lot of like room to like do different things.
Lots of hours of rehearsals are needed in preparation for the concert. The school's tech crew operates the lights for the show, and videos are created by the school's monthly Rewind program to accompany the dances and music. The dancers explained what was done in order to prepare for the concert.
Well, a lot of rehearsals. We had to learn all the dances. We also, spent a lot of time together thinking of themes and concepts and getting our props together. We just stayed after every day until 3:30, and we would run them in class.
We would stay after every day, and in class we would rehearse all of our dances and put a lot of time and effort into it.
Each dance in the concert was different and unique, showcasing different genres and styles of music and dance. The concert incorporated types of dance such as traditional techniques like ballet, point, modern, and tap to contemporary, hip-hop, belly dancing, and Afro-Caribbean. The dancers have their own opinion on which dance from this year's concert was their favorite.
My favorite dance would have to be our last dance because it was really sad because it's the last time we were going to dance together.
Probably Jai Ho, because it was just the most fun.
Definitely Afro-Caribbean.
Definitely hip-hop. I mean, it took a lot of practice, but...
The Miracle Minute that took place at this year's concert raised $5,000 that will be donated to the PAD organization to help promote safe driving. The concert seemed to be enjoyed very much by the audience and the dancers this year. Students share what they thought of this year's concert.
It was really good because I feel like we're all so close now, and we're just such a family. It was really good.
I think the dance concert is one of the best ones Township's ever had.
I thought it was the best one since forever, I believe.
It's very important for each dancer to know the choreography and have all props and costumes together before the concert. During the final weeks leading up to the dance concert, things can get a little stressful for the dancers and instructors. The girls share whether they thought preparing for this year's concert was stressful or not.
I didn't think it was stressful this year. Probably staying after, because if you wanted to stay after to make up a test or something.
Late night rehearsals till 9 o'clock. It's probably getting all of our costumes together and finding things.
I wouldn't say it was stressful. I would say it would be more anxious, nervous and excited for all the dances.
Here we are now, everything's about to change.
The show showcases the seniors in the school's dance program by dedicating a dance just for the senior girls. The seniors also have the opportunity to audition for solos in which they can pick their own style of dance and song. The seniors have many important roles in the concert, and some of the dancers give advice for next year's seniors in the program.
Have fun and don't worry about the little things, because in the end that doesn't matter.
Be close as a class because it made it a lot better, and if there's drama, that just won't be good.
Don't stress too much. I mean, it all comes together eventually.
Definitely get involved in everything, try out for everything.
Students can return for the alumni dance 5 years after graduating. Some of the senior dancers share how they feel about their last time dancing together and their plans on returning as alumni.
I'm so sad to leave because I never thought I would get so close to these girls. I never thought they're like sisters to me now, and it's just really sad to leave.
I'm sad because Township Dance is my favorite, but I'll definitely come back.
I'm actually really sad to leave these girls. I'm gonna cry. But yeah, I'm really excited to come back as an alumni.
Overall, the dance concert was a success for the school's dance program this year. Money was raised for a great cause, and the audience got to enjoy dances put on by the students of the school. The dance program continues to surprise everyone each year with a wonderful show they continue to produce. This has been Lisa Holleran reporting from Monthly Rewind, Season 22.
Hey, you just watched Lisa's segment on the dance concert. Now here's my segment on Avengers Infinity War. This is the 18th Marvel movie to come out in the MCU, and there's going to be a lot of characters like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Iron Man, and who's going to die, who's going to live. Is Thanos going to be a good villain? Find out in my segment.
Along with holidays like April Fool's and Easter, another massive event is set to take place this April. This event, which will be celebrated worldwide, is the release of Disney and Marvel Studios' Avengers: Infinity War.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this movie for about 7-8 years. It's been crazy.
Yes, I've been looking forward to this movie ever since the first Avengers movie came out, and I'm just so excited for it.
Extremely excited. I've been waiting for this for 8 years, ever since the MCU came out.
Infinity War, which is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, will be the 19th entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a franchise that started back in 2008 with Jon Favreau's Iron Man. Other entries in the series include James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, Peyton Reed's Ant-Man, and Ryan Coogler's box office juggernaut Black Panther. With such a wide variety of films to choose from, each fan of the series certainly has a favorite.
My favorite MCU movie has to be probably Black Panther. That movie is just incredible. Like, everything about it was perfect, in my opinion. Just from like the action scenes and the music, it was great.
My favorite Marvel movie, it's really hard because all of them are like really good. It'd have to be Spider-Man, The Winter Soldier, either of the Guardians of the Galaxy, or the first Avengers movie, because that has a special spot in my heart.
I really like Guardians of the Galaxy because I thought it was a really cool turn on how they did it, and with the music and stuff, it was really different from the other ones.
Along with having a very diverse and unique collection of films, the MCU offers up inspired portrayals of many iconic comic book characters, including Chris Evans as Captain America, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and most recently Tom Holland as Spider-Man. With the film's directors claiming that the new film will be the culmination of the entire universe up to this point, fans are anticipating the chance to see some of their favorite characters team up for the first time.
I definitely want to see the Incredible Hulk and Black Panther just team up and fight, because they're just two strong characters that are awesome.
Well, I would really like to see Hulk and like Doctor Strange, because I feel like that would be really cool. I actually like anyone with Doctor Strange, because he's such like he has like the different, like he's the odd one out of all of them, so it'd be really cool to see him just with anyone else.
I want to see Ant-Man and Black Panther team up because they're both really different, and I think it'd be cool to see them two kind of butt heads and, be good together.
Although the previous 18 films in the MCU have been, for the most part, well received by both critics and audiences, one similar criticism seems to come up with almost every new entry. With the exception of a few films in the franchise, the Marvel Universe as a whole has been hammered for lacking any real stakes, as minimal characters have perished and little damage has been done to the world around them. With Infinity War, though, the Russos aim to change this by creating a far darker and more surreal tone, where no hero is safe and death is always a possibility.
Captain America's gonna die, so definitely. Yeah, I feel like it's leading up to that point. Maybe he might get replaced. Someone else might take on for Captain America, but he's gonna die.
Well, there's a few people who I think is gonna die. I think Loki's gonna die because he sacrifices himself for Thor, right? I think Iron Man, I don't know if he's gonna die. I feel like he's gonna like be like the new Nick Fury, but he's not gonna be Iron Man anymore. Captain America is probably gonna die. Thor's not gonna die. Maybe Rhodey, Pepper Potts, Gamora, Drax. Like I could just keep going on and on, but like that's like.
I'll easy answer. Clint Barton is dead. Hawkeye is dead, and in my opinion, I think Steve Rogers is going to die, and they're going to give that franchise to the Winter Soldier.
Due to the popularity and success of the previous Marvel films, the release of Infinity War will absolutely be an event like no other, as it will bring not only a massive number of heroes together, but all of the fans. This is John Machichi reporting for Monthly Rewind Season 22.
That was John's segment on Infinity War, and now here's my segment on Deccan Nationals, located this year in Atlanta, Georgia, and what the qualifiers did to get to this point and what they're most excited for.
This year's DECA ICDC is located in Atlanta, Georgia, where more than 19,000 high school students, teacher advisors, business professionals, and alumni gather for several days of DECA excitement.
I'm kind of just excited to get 4 days off and go to Atlanta, with my friends and kind of do fun stuff that I'd otherwise not be able to do.
I'm the most excited for the Wisconsin exhibit in the College Football Hall of Fame.
I'm most excited for the Coke factory in Atlanta because I'm obsessed with Coca-Cola and I drink it every day, and I've never been to a Coke factory before. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to present again for our community service paper because I've never actually presented at nationals, because last year we just did one of the Thrive campaigns.
In order to make it to nationals, you have to qualify through regionals and then states, two very challenging stages of the road to nationals.
I think the key is just having confidence and setting high expectations for yourself and trying your best to meet those expectations.
The key for qualifying for nationals is having dedication, good work ethic, and being determined to achieve your goals and see the final result, which is qualifying.
The key to qualifying for nationals is, I think, having confidence during your role play or your presentation, because if you're not confident in what you're saying, even if it's wrong, then the judge will know and get a sense of that. But the more confidence you have, it just looks better in general.
DECA members demonstrate their career-ready knowledge and skills by participating in DECA's competitive event program. These include areas such as marketing, finance, hospitality, management, and entrepreneurship. Most students have to do an on-the-spot role play, while some have a pre-prepared event. Although the chances of placing at nationals are very low, Township did not disappoint with our two DECA finalists, Steve Kazone and Colin Lee.
I'm kind of just preparing myself mentally and reading over role plays and stuff online and doing what I can to not embarrass myself.
Preparing for my DECA event, I am working really hard on creating a PowerPoint for the school store. And I'm taking pictures, I'm researching, and I'm just really getting my brain working and really pushing myself.
Me, Megan, and Taylor prepare we get together and just go over what we're going to say before the presentation, and we just look over our paper to look at key points that we need to talk about during a presentation.
When the students are not competing or at workshops, they get to explore beautiful Atlanta. They got to experience things such as the World of Coca-Cola, the Georgia Aquarium, and the College Football Hall of Fame. They also get to meet so many different people from all over the country.
I don't really expect to place or anything, but kind of just to, try my best, have fun, and, enjoy my week.
My expectations for nationals is to have a great time with some of my business friends, and hopefully become a finalist on stage for my competition.
My expectations for nationals is I think it's going to be a good year with the people that are going. It's a good group of people. I'm not sure how our presentation will go, but I think that it'll go well, but it's really hard to qualify with the amount of people at nationals. And I don't know, it's just expectations are high in general.
All of these different and exciting aspects that go into DECA Nationals led for an extremely successful trip that all the students and teachers will remember for a lifetime. I'm Olivia Schaefer, reporting for Monthly Rewind, Season 22.
That was Liv's segment on DECA Nationals. Every year, 12 boys have the honor of being chosen to be a part of Mr. Washington Township. These boys work hard to perform and compete to be crowned as Mr. WT. Check out my segment on Mr. WT 2018.
Mr. Washington Township has been a tradition at our school ever since 1990. Every year, 12 boys from the senior class are chosen by their classmates to represent their grade and compete for the crown and title of Mr. WT. This event is one that requires months of hard work that includes the boys learning multiple group dances and finding costumes and acts to fit with their month. This year, the 2018 Mr. Washington Township candidates are Jimmy McSweeney, Will McCusker, Josh Loomis, Brandon Hickson, Carson Schultz, Sean Smithson, Brandon Searles, Nazir Johnson, Steve Morrow, Ethan Chang, Matt Murgo, and Chris No. This group of 12 boys were a great representation of this year's senior class.
The 12 guys are really awesome. Before we started all this,
we weren't close at all. And then as time went on, we became really, really close. And I can now say I have like 11 brothers.
I really loved all 12 of the guys. They were all really funny and cool. It was really nice getting to know them all. I mean, I was close with a few of them beforehand, but actually like, going to rehearsals and getting to know them, it was really nice. It was a really cool experience.
They're a great group of guys and a lot of different personalities, definitely very diverse, but as a group, we're one and we dance well together.
This year's Mr. WT theme was pirates. The boys were a group of 12 pirates that had the same goal of searching for buried treasure, which was the Mr. WT crown. Each dance incorporated finding treasure map pieces and fitting music to the theme. Although the show was a huge success, the theme was not very popular among everyone.
Honestly, at first I kind of hated the theme and I didn't really think it was going to turn out great, but it really came off awesome and I think everyone had so much fun doing it.
At first I was a little iffy on the theme because I didn't know how it was going to reach the audience. But then once I saw all the lights come together and all the smoke and the fog and then all the dances being incorporated onto the stage, it really turned out really well and I was very happy with the outcome.
Honestly, I didn't like the theme. I thought it could have been better, but you know what? I didn't get to choose, so.
With Mr. WT being on April 26th, there are months of hard work that start right after the boys are announced in January. This included 2 rehearsals a week and a full week of dress rehearsals once the boys progressed from the Blue Room to the IBPAC stage. With senior year winding down, balancing these rehearsals and other activities was a very stressful task.
The hardest part leading up to it was definitely balancing all of the rehearsals and schoolwork and track on the side because it was just a lot to handle with everything that's going on, especially because we had 2 rehearsals a week and they were each 2 hours, and then once the actual dress rehearsal started every night that one week, it was just stressful, but we got through it.
Lack of sleep. I was tired the whole time, so yeah.
Hardest part was definitely teaching 12 boys how to dance who have 2 left feet. It was a mess at first, but they're awesome. It came out great.
Despite all of the stress while preparing for Mr. WT, it was definitely a way for the boys to bond and form close friendships. Pushing the work aside, the moments leading up to the show were definitely ones to remember, and every person involved made new fun memories that will stick with them forever.
The best part leading up to the show was definitely moving from the Blue Room for practices to the stage and just seeing how the show was coming together and then going through Tech Week and seeing how all the lights were used and everything like that.
Definitely the rehearsals. They were the most fun part of the show, or leading up to the show, because I mean, just being around all the 12 guys and the choreographers, and they were all just so nice and funny, and they just made it a fun time just to even go to rehearsals.
When the day of Mr. WT was finally here, an amazing show was put on with the help of the choreographers, the boys, the MCs, the tech crew, and everyone else involved. The show was extremely entertaining for those watching that got to see the boys dance, answer questions, and have fun on stage. All the people involved have an opinion on which part of the show was their favorite.
My favorite part of the show was definitely seeing Matt dancing on stage because even the audience were getting into it. He was singing along to every song. His energy was awesome, and it definitely brought all the guys' energy up throughout the night. So definitely seeing that was really funny and awesome.
The questions, that's my strong suit, so that was pretty cool.
I loved watching everyone's video in the beginning because we had the little screen so we could see it in the backstage area. It was really fun to see everyone's creativity in the videos.
At the end of the show, the moment that everyone had been waiting for finally came. With everyone on the edge of their seats, they crowned Mr. Washington Township 2018, Carson Schultz. Everyone was extremely happy for Carson and believed that he, along with any of the other boys, deserved to win.
We were shocked. Grace, me, and I were standing there like, no way, and then we ran over and I was so happy for him. He deserves it more than anyone else.
It didn't even matter who won, just to see that someone won and that all of our hard work for putting into the show the months leading up just really paid off in the end. And it was just awesome, and you know, he deserves it because he's just an awesome guy.
I was actually really surprised. I didn't think that I was gonna win, so yeah.
Mr. Washington Township 2018 was an amazing show that all the boys had fun participating in and everyone enjoyed watching. This leaves everyone excited for what's to come next year when Carson returns to crown Mr. WT 2019. This is Jada and Ace from Monthly Rewind Season 22.
You just watched Jay's segment on Mr. WT. Now here's my segment on the Tri-M Symphony Orchestra, which is benefiting a OVMS student with leukemia. The Symphony Orchestra is one of the only concerts throughout the year that features members of the orchestra, band, and chorus playing pieces together. Although the choir program is represented through a featured soloist, each program is needed in order to make the concert a success musically. The Symphony Orchestra is made up entirely of volunteers and is open to alumni, semi-professional, and professionals in the community. The concert is sponsored by the Tri-M Music Honor Society and is run by one of their exec board members. This year, senior Grace Robertson enters her third and final year running the concert.
So I was there the first year when we started Symphony freshman year, and I was friends with who was running it, and it was really cool just how through all the music and everything we've been working toward and all the music we started learning since we were really like 7 years old, it was really cool how we could just take all of that and put it towards a charitable cause. And I just thought, hey, once my friend graduates, it'll be really nice if I get to really work behind the scenes and make this all work.
In 2014, the first Symphony Orchestra concert was held in the IBPAC. Jacob Heil, a 2014 graduate who came up with and ran the first concert along with the help of other Tri-M members, had the idea of combining the music programs in the school to perform together and raise money for local residents who could not afford the proper help they need. The first concert was a success, raising around $1,500. Now entering its fourth year, the concert will benefit 7th grade OVMS student Charisse Garcia, who suffers from leukemia.
So our first choice is normally going through the process of asking guidance counselors, whether it's through our school or the middle schools or elementary schools. We'll go through asking them, and if there's no one in school, luckily this year, well, luckily or not, there was someone we could go through this year and use our charity towards that. But last year there wasn't anyone directly in Washington Township, so Catherine and I, the past Tri-M president, decided, hey, this is something, we took autism awareness and we would take something really close to our own hearts and something we would have personal experience with and find a local charity or a local school that really needed the money.
Along with raising money to support the family, the concert also has an overall theme behind it. The first half of the concert is traditionally dedicated to more classical music, while the second half is dedicated to that year's theme. This year's theme was space and features music from Star Wars, Apollo 13, E.T., and Mars from Gustav Holst's suite, The Planets.
I really enjoyed the theme this year for the Tri-M Symphony Orchestra. The space theme, I really liked it because a lot of people knew what kind of music we were listening to, such as Apollo 13 and the E.T. theme. So I thought that was interesting if you wanted to go and you could actually listen to something you knew.
So the theme for this year has just been kind of, the music itself was very profound and you could just tell it had a lot of meaning behind it. A lot of the space-themed music comes from either movies that are really well known, and part of what we go for is having some type of angle to have publicity. And so if you know, a lot of people know the movies like Star Wars, Apollo 13, or E.T., then you know people will want to come out and hear the music more. And it also, the space theme itself kind of just was my touch to my last concert, my last year in this program, because I'm going into a field very heavily involved with space and all that. And I found the music personally really interesting, so I thought it'd be nice to have the orchestra play.
After 5 rehearsals, the concert was held on Tuesday, April 17th in the IBPAC. The concert raised over $3,000, which was all donated to the Garcia family to help pay for Charisse's hospital bills.
My mom liked it. She was happy that the school did this, and she was in tears a lot. Like when they went up there to talk about what Reese went through, she was in tears. I was almost in tears, but my boyfriend was there, so I wasn't going to cry. She liked when they played Star Wars because she loves Star Wars, and she was just all around just excited. She's like, they're playing for me. And she was upset because she's like, I want to be on stage again, because she loves to play music.
The Symphony Orchestra concert is one of the biggest annual music-based fundraisers in the school. Every year, the theme of the concert changes and supports a different community member. Fundraisers like these are what make Township great, and hopefully future Tri-M members keep the concert alive and make this orchestra a Township tradition for supporting local community members. This has been Josh Chacino with Monthly Rewind Season 22.
That was Josh's segment on the Symphony Orchestra concert. Seems like vinyl records are becoming more of a trend again. Watch my segment to see why people are buying them more often. It seems to be a new trend for teenagers to buy their favorite artist's new album on vinyl, rather than the modern millennial way of taking 15 seconds to go onto any online streaming service, attach their phone to an aux cord, and press play. But why were 14.32 million vinyl albums sold in 2017 by the teenage demographic alone?
I think a lot of it has to do with kids growing up, like teenagers and 20-year-olds of today didn't even have CDs. Everything was downloads. Everything went onto an iPod. You know, and there's people that have the bug in them that want to collect stuff, and they want to have a hard copy of it, and they want to touch it and feel it and smell it.
I think people are buying vinyl again because now we have like streaming, and that's the big thing, and there's no physical music anymore. Like even CDs are kind of out now. So I think the like the sentiment of having something physical to hold, like it's the same reason why people go to buy like discs, movies. Like they don't buy it online, they buy discs. It's just cool to have.
I think people are buying vinyl not for the vinyl, but more for what they can put out on social media. Like people like the trendy pictures for like Instagram and for their viscos. I think it's cool to have vinyl, but yeah.
Throughout the good old days, as any parent would put it, records were one of the only ways to play any song you wanted before the introduction of 8-tracks and cassette tapes. Since the 1960s, sound quality of these records have increased because of better recording studios and digital pressing rather than lower quality tape masters. This is the biggest reason why vinyl record sales have been skyrocketing in the past few years. The ability to hear the subtle hum of the needle along the record and the occasional crackling sound, along with better instrumental sounds, has become more noticeable in today's records than ever before. This is also why albums such as Thriller and Abbey Road remain at the top of the charts with vinyl re-releases. Many adults to this day stick to the belief that speakers from today can't even compare to the sound of a record player. However, some adults hated the inconvenience of their vinyl and would much rather have a Bose or JBL speaker play their music and are happy that sound technology has improved as much as it has over the years.
I'd rather flip through a bin of records than scroll through somebody's iPhone or whatever and look to see what they have on there. And what are you going to do? Have a bunch of friends come over and put your phone on a set of speakers? Or would you like to have a bunch of records that people can take out and look at the artwork and, you know, flip it and play it? It's more of a communal thing.
I think it depends on the kind of music you listen to, like when you're listening. Because like, yeah, you need speakers to make the record player work, obviously, and to actually hear it, especially with the new kind of digital ones. But like, yeah, I think if I'm listening to like the Doors or Fleetwood or like the Beatles, I want to listen to it on the record player, just get that crackling and the humming. But if I'm listening to some like X music or some rap, like I'm not going to listen to it on here. I'm going to listen to it digitally and get all of the sounds and the digital kind of beats that I can get from that.
I would much rather use like a modern day speaker and just say, hey Alexa, play that song for me. It's just faster and more convenient instead of putting the vinyl in and trying to find the exact song.
With convenience being such a huge part of today's culture, why would teenagers today be buying some ancient form of listening to their music when all they have to do is press play on their phone? The answer is that buying a record seems to be a tactile experience for most. Actually going to the store to buy music, something that people haven't done for years, is a whole different experience. Using a phone is very convenient with portability and millions of selection on one device, but these systems make listeners lose out on any physical interaction with their music.
Record stores, it's this new concept. They've been around for a while, but they're back. It's like iTunes, but you can walk in them, and it's 3D. And it smells funny, and there are weird people there, and weird people will talk to you, and you can talk to weird people, or you don't have to talk to weird people. But it's a gathering place of people come in and buy, you know, dollar CDs, and then people come in and buy like $500 records. It's all the same. They're all into music. They're all going home and feeling the same way. I don't know, there's more of a community aspect.
Going to buy records, like it is a process, but I think I like it better than just like scrolling through your phone and clicking 5 buttons and then getting an album, because like, it's cool, I don't know, just going and doing that and looking through and finding all the covers, and I like owning them because they have the covers, and I just think it's really cool to have like a physical thing in your hand rather than just click a bunch of things on the cloud and get a bunch of pictures on your phone.
It's more for the experience. Like if you were to read a paperback book compared to a Kindle, the experience is different. You have the physical thing in your hands.
People who buy vinyl are also buying them not just for the music, but for the collectability and visual appeal. Indie and classic rock artists sell the most albums because of their aesthetic appeal. Nostalgia is also a big part for the people that grew up with records, but for teenagers, this does not play as much of a role since the earliest most can remember listening to music was from an iPod or CD. All in all, most millennials would much rather listen to their music from their phone on a Beats Pill or Google Home, but with better packaging processes on today's records, better record players, and more visually appealing album covers, the attractability to vinyl has increased dramatically. This is Brandon Searles with Monthly Rewind, Season 22.
You just watched Brandon's segment on vinyl records. Battle Royale games have been blowing up in popularity in the past few months. Fortnite, being one of them, has over 45 million players and even celebrities like Drake on board. Watch my segment to find out the hype behind Fortnite.
Fortnite is a third-person battle royale game on PC, PS4, Xbox, and even iPhone. The game is simple. 100 players skydive from the battle bus into different locations on a map. Players search for weapons and supplies while trying to kill one another. Out of 100 players, the last remaining team or solo player wins. The concept is pretty straightforward and has been done in other games before, but Fortnite is becoming massive compared to all of the other Battle Royale games. Tyler Blevins, better known by his online name Ninja, has recently been gaining tons of popularity on Twitch.tv, a popular live streaming website for video games, due to being one of the best Fortnite players. Ninja has been a pretty big streamer for a while now, but Fortnite has really brought him to the top. A normal stream for Ninja consists of around 100,000 people watching him play Fortnite. He reportedly makes over $500,000 a month from subscriptions, donations, and sponsorships. Recently, Ninja played with rappers Drake and Travis Scott on one of his live streams. During that stream, Ninja reached 628,000 viewers, breaking the previous Twitch.tv viewer record of 388,000.
I found out Drake played Ninja through YouTube and Instagram. I think it's really cool because a big known celebrity like Drake himself is playing Fortnite, and it's really evolving the game.
I mean, it was pretty cool. He seems like a nice guy. And he seems like he was pretty good at the game too, you know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the video on YouTube, and I think it's pretty cool because, you know, a rapper's playing the same game as me. It's nice. I like it. You know, it's expanding.
So, why is Fortnite so popular? It's not anything revolutionary in terms of video games, but it still has gained millions of players in the past few months. A good guess is because the game is free to play, meaning all you have to do is download it and you can play. People are obviously going to be more likely to try a game if they don't have to pay anything.
Well, I feel like it's like a different type of game, and something just new in the video game place, I guess you could say, yeah.
I think it's probably because it's a free game and it's a battle royale game that has building features, and it's a cartoon-like game, so little kids can play it. Basically all age groups, so that's why I think it's really popular.
I think Fortnite's so popular because you can build to protect yourself, and you get different skins, and you can just look different. You can I guess kind of express yourself in your skins.
Fortnite is a free-to-play game, which might seem like a bad way to make money, but it's actually more of a viable concept than it might seem. With a normal video game, someone will make a purchase once and that's it. Free-to-play games make it so customers keep making purchases for in-game items. Fortnite does exactly this, make its money from cosmetics. Things like outfits, emotes, gliders, and axes appear in the shop every day and can be bought with V-Bucks. V-Bucks are just Fortnite's in-game currency, used to buy cosmetics. V-Bucks can be bought in packs of $10, $25, $60, or $100. Another way Fortnite makes its money is from its other game mode, Save the World. While it's played far less than the Battle Royale mode, it still costs money to play and helps fund the game. The Battle Pass is also very popular. Many people are reluctant to buy cosmetics, so instead they buy the Battle Pass. At the beginning of every season, a new Battle Pass is released, which consists of 100 tiers. Players complete weekly and daily challenges to gain battle stars, which level up their battle pass. Each tier has a new cosmetic item, meaning you get 100 items for only $9.50. Most players end up getting the battle pass instead of items individually because it's cheaper.
I actually have not bought anything yet in Fortnite.
Yes, I have. I bought the battle pass.
Well, yeah, I've bought quite a few things, different varieties of skins and the battle pass. So yeah, I've definitely spent money on Fortnite.
Recently, Fortnite has branched off into the mobile side of things. The game is on iOS and can be downloaded on all iPhones as long as they're newer than the iPhone 6s. Not everyone can play though, as it's still in an early access state. If you were lucky enough to be invited, you could send 3 invite codes to anyone you want and they'll also be able to play. The game is pretty much the same on mobile as it is on PC, PS4, and Xbox. The only huge difference is the controls and the fact that it looks a little worse, which is to be expected for a mobile game. Mobile players can even play with their friends who are on PC if they choose to, but they'll most likely be at a big disadvantage.
I like it. I played it before. It's a little difficult, but pretty fun though. Yeah.
Fortnite Mobile is garbage. It's nothing like the actual game on the console. It sucks. I hate it.
Fortnite Mobile, I think it's a complete flop, and it's nothing like the game on the console and the PC, and they just didn't they need to rethink what they were doing about the app, so I don't think it was a good decision.
While Fortnite's concept isn't anything new, the game stands out from others like it. Undoubtedly the most popular game of 2018, there are definitely many things that separate Fortnite from other Battle Royale games.
Definitely the building aspect, because yeah, there's other Battle Royale games, but the fact that you can build, that really separates it from all the other ones.
Fortnite is different from other games, in my opinion, because you can build to protect yourself. In any other game, you're not really enabled to protect yourself by building.
All in all, the hype behind Fortnite is understandable. Battle Royale games are very popular right now, and being able to play for free is a huge plus. Combined with the fact that it caters to all age groups is what skyrocketed this game to the top. I'm Jeff Salamoni reporting from Monthly Rewind, Season 22.
You just watched Jeff's Fortnite segment. The third marking period has ended and the fourth one is upon us. Students are pretty happy about it, considering seniors get to graduate and other students get to take a break off school. Watch my segment to get their reactions about this. It is mid-April and the school year is starting to close in. With 75% of the school year already being over, most major school events have already occurred. With senioritis kicking in, the countdown to the end of the year has begun. As of April 27th, there are only 33 school days remaining until the school year is complete. The year has been filled with new school experiences and just personal experiences in general for the students at the high school. While for the upperclassmen this is just another year of the routine, the freshmen have finally maintained a high school experience that they can reflect on.
My first year, it's pretty good. I got reestablished with some old friends because I got redistricted in 8th grade. I joined new clubs that I honestly wouldn't have done if I didn't come here, because I did join mock trial, and usually I would think that's boring and I shouldn't do it, but it's actually pretty fun. And I'm being challenged a lot more in my classes because I'm doing honors and AP. So it's been a good year.
It was good, other than the beginning of the year where it was kind of hard to find my way around, and throughout the rest of the year it was easier because I knew where everything was and I was more comfortable with the teachers.
However, as mentioned, there are still 33 days left as the school year is still not over. The entire fourth marking period is still upon us as teachers and students still have that last bit of learning to do. The third marking period, being the extra length it is, can affect the pace of the final marking period for students and whether it goes fast or slow.
I think the rest of the year will go relatively fast if I look back on it. If I'm living the moment, I would think it's pretty slow and that time couldn't go any slower, but because I guess if I'm looking back then it's going to go fast, so I think it's going to go relatively fast.
I think it will go faster because there is only 2 months left, and it's basically just a wrap up of everything, and we have finals and park.
I think it'll go by pretty quickly after this month's over, because then we have AP tests, and then after that we have prom, and after that we have MDW, then finals, then graduation, and it's gonna fly by in a blink of an eye.
Regardless of how fast or slow the last days are, the school year ends on June 18th. The next day will be one of the most important days for the senior class as it holds graduation and project graduation. The seniors are sure to show a lot of emotion during these big events and even are showing emotion before these even happen.
I feel happy and sad at the same time because I have friends here. Oh, of course I want to still have them, but I don't know, it's just we're not going to see each other anymore a lot of time.
I mean, it is kind of crazy to think that a new part of my life is going to begin, but I mean, I'm excited. A bunch of new doors are going to open up and a lot of new experiences will be, available to me.
I don't know, I'm happy and I'm sad. I'm sad because I don't want to grow up, but I kind of have to. And I'm happy because I want to get out of here. But
Mostly sad.
With the summer ahead, the break or ending of school is always beneficial for students, as they can go out and enjoy the time away from sitting in a classroom. The summer holds many opportunities to plan out future goals, earn money by working, or just completely forgetting all work and relaxing. This is just a list of possible things to do as the students in Township give what they have planned for the summer and even the next school year.
Well, for the summer, I'm going to try to get a job because I'll be 15. And then for sophomore year, I'm going to try to do a lot more clubs, and I'm going to be like more active with like school.
I'm gonna probably work to get money and go to college, not this year but next year, and also try to save money for a car.
I plan to take honors and CP classes and continue with music tech.
Nevertheless, the school year is almost over, and it is exciting to see another successful school year come close to an end. For the underclassmen, it gives them a chance to step away from high school, while for the seniors, it will be the last 33 days to remember. For Monthly Rewind, Season 22, I'm Miguel Morgan.
You just watched Miguel's summer vacation countdown. Speaking of Miguel, he, Alexa, and I are Bouchard's last students to have him for a full 4 years. And this is my second to last show, so I thought what a better way to say goodbye to Bouchard and let him know how much he means to us by making a segment on him. Check out my segment on the one and only Marty Bouchard. Mr. Bouchard is Washington Township's television production teacher. He started the 4-year program single-handedly, creating classes from Contech to, most importantly, Monthly Rewind. He has been teaching here for 34 years, and sadly that impressive amount is coming to a stop after 22 strong seasons of Monthly Rewind. Rewind as a class will continue, but without its heart and soul, Mr. Bouchard. With this being his final year, only 2 other students beside myself are lucky enough to be the last ones to have him for our entire high school career.
It feels pretty good to be one of Bouchard's last full 4-year students, because when you're teaching, I think teachers remember like their first and their last like bunch of students more than kind of in the middle. And knowing that, you know, me, you, and Alexa are the last 4, I think he'll remember us a little more sometimes. It's just a thought.
I think that it's cool that we get to be one of the last ones to get the full Marty experience for all 4 years. And I think that it's nice that he got 3 pretty awesome kids for that. So I think it was great that we got to be the last ones, because I don't think anyone else would have done a better job.
At first, it was expected that Bouchard would remain at the high school for another full season. Then we discovered during senior trip of 2018 that it was his last trip because he was leaving in December, so we thought. Not until recently the Rewinders discovered that the matters are different. Season 22 will be Bouchard's final season, leaving the would-have-been 4-year students to take care of the next season.
If I'm going to be honest, I was very upset. I mean, well, most of the seniors in the class are obviously graduating, so there's only going to be 4 of us left, me, Jeff, John, and Kyle. And, you know, we've been with Bouchard for 3 years, and, you know, it's really sad to see him go because, I mean, like, he's the reason we took the class.
I was really sad to hear that because, you know, we've had him for 3 years, and we really wanted to have him for, like, the end of high school, especially, like, to share, like, graduation, all that stuff with him because he's probably our favorite teacher. I think it's safe to say for everyone. But, you know, you got to retire sometime, and it's good. You know, he can get on with his life and do whatever he wants now.
I was pretty sad about it because, like John said, you know, like we want to all graduate together, and we kind of all, you know, we've got bonded together since we came in freshman year, and then like we always heard like, oh, he's going to retire soon, but we didn't know, and we all thought we were all going to graduate together, and it was going to be really cool to finish out our senior year with Mr. Bouchard.
Although his 34 years at Township coming to an end is very sad, we are all extremely proud of what he has done. Bouchard is one of those teachers that many of his students can let go after graduation, and I know that will be the case for Season 22. Bouchard holds a special place in all of our hearts.
I feel like he's just a very honest guy, especially for a teacher. I feel like a lot of teachers put on like a face when they come to work, but I feel like when you get him, like you actually get him, and he's really cool and just fun to be around.
My favorite thing about Bouchard is that he's a very realistic person. So if you ask for help with something or you're doing something wrong, he's not afraid to tell you, which helps people get better. And he brings us donuts on Fridays, which is definitely a plus to this class.
My favorite thing is all like the little funny things. He yells like, enjoy your waffles, and he's always like messing with all the students, and he's just an overall like a really funny guy when it comes to everything.
One of the most notable things about being in the classroom with Mr. Bouchard is how quickly you discover that he is not your average teacher. Things are done in his own way, typically giving the students more freedom.
Mr. Bouchard really stands out to me because I seem so like close with him compared to like other teachers. Like, you have your teachers throughout high school where you bond with throughout the year, but then after that you don't really like talk to them too much. You say hi in the hallway, but with Mr. Bouchard it's different. You always feel close with him, especially since I come here with like 3 periods a day. I'm just used to seeing him all the time, and he's just a really nice guy in general.
Bouchard is different from other teachers because instead of just teaching a lesson and letting us do whatever we want, you form a more personal relationship with him. And not only is he a teacher, but you kind of think of him as a friend. So it's really nice to have him with us to help us with what we need and also be able to joke around with him.
So one thing that makes Mr. Bouchard definitely different than other teachers is he gives you a lot more, I guess you could say, freedom in the classroom. So it's not more like you just sit there and like look at the board. Like you learn like on your own kind of, which is a good thing. So like you learn how to like edit and all that other stuff. And sometimes it's good to just do it on your own instead of just sitting there and watching someone do it.
From bringing donuts in for his students every Friday to occasionally cooking them an entire breakfast, the bond between Bouchard and his students is like no other. Mr. Bouchard has done so much in this high school that he will be leaving a huge footprint behind him, as all his students will continue to succeed in the field of television.
I'd like to think that I made a difference in some of my students' lives. Been here 34 years, and over that time, a lot of kids have crossed my path, and I hope that their interaction with me in some way, affected them, and I hope in some way it made their lives better.
After this touching message from the man himself, Season 22 was given the chance to say whatever they wanted to Bouchard, considering their time with him is almost done.
It's the best class I took all of high school, and you're the reason why I want to continue with it in college.
Mr. Bouchard, this is for you. I want you to have a great retirement, and when I go to college and become successful, hopefully, I will give you the biggest shout out of all of my shout outs.
I would just like to say thank you for making high school better, and if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have met like all my friends that I've made here, and just thanks for a good high school career.
All I have to say is he was a great teacher, and he's a guy I'm going to remember when I'm like 42, opening up my yearbook to my kids. Like he's just an overall made a lot of memories with the dude.
I'm really going to miss Mr. Bouchard. I only had him for 2 years, but I wish I could have had him for all 4. So thank you for teaching me everything I know for TV production, and I'm going to think about you and all that you've taught me when I go to college and pursue this as a career.
Marty's been a really good teacher. I mean, I don't know, it's definitely going to be like a class I miss, and I feel like we've made a lot of memories together, and it sucks that I didn't do like TV production all 4 years. Like I kind of wish I did, but the time like we've had with him has been really nice, and yeah.
It is safe to say that we are all going to miss the legendary Mr. Bouchard. From past students coming in to see him periodically to students that see him every day, all of the great things he has taught us will come in very handy in the future. We all wish you the best of luck in retirement, Mr. Bouchard, and hopefully you finally get to relax. This was Tom Kufseta from Monthly Rewind, Season 22.
Never settle. So many people go through life just taking whatever it gives them instead of going out and really getting what they want. And I think it's important that if you're not happy where you are, try to go somewhere that you are happy. Whether it be in your career, in your relationships, in whatever you do. You got to be happy in life, and if you're not, you're just kind of going through the motions.
So that was Tom's segment on Mr. Bouchard. Everybody has a couple pet peeves that tick them off once in a while. Here's my mail time on people's pet peeves. Hello everybody, welcome back to Monthly Rewind's Mail Time. So all of our viewers like to send us questions about random stuff. So let's just check out what this month has been sent to us. Pull a John real fast, okay? Just 1 second. So it says, Dear Monthly Rewind, I just realized a couple of days ago that there are a bunch of things and scenarios that really tick me off and make me annoyed, which are my pet peeves. I started making a list of every one of my pet peeves. I was just curious as to what pet peeves everyone from Monthly Rewind has. From Shaniqua and Ricardo. Well, Shaniqua and Ricardo, let me tell you. See, I went around like talking to everybody, you know, what your pet peeve is and everything, and I just wanted to find out because I'm just as curious as you are. So let's just find out what everyone gets really mad at.
You know, Emily has a point. One of my pet peeves is, you ever just like out at like a store or something, or just anywhere really, and somebody holds the door open. That's nice and all. I'm all for people being nice, but when you're like 20, 30, 40 feet away, and someone holds the door, and like, you just gotta run then, you gotta hurry, and it's more of an inconvenience to me. I get you're trying to be nice, but you're making it harder on me, because then I gotta run to not feel like a jerk. And it's just not nice.
So, yeah, you know, everyone's talking about their pet peeve, and, you know, definitely my biggest pet peeve is, you know, mayonnaise. Like, who likes mayonnaise? Like, a lot of people, you know, put it on their sandwiches and stuff, but it's just, like, disgusting. It's like a chunky white. Who would ever want to eat that? I mean, it's just, like, all white, and it's like a paste. It's disgusting. Why would you ever want to eat that?
So everybody's talking about their pet peeves. My pet peeve, one of them at least, is when people talk in the movie theater. Like, what are you doing? You come, you pay like $17, whatever it is now, and you just come and you're gonna just talk through the entire movie. Like, I'm trying to watch it. I paid a lot of money to be here. And then, like, you know, they take their phones out and they're taking selfies and they're taking pictures with flash. Shout out to that girl that I went to see Lights Out with. What are you doing?
Wait, dude, was that the Stan Lee cameo?
Stan Lee?
Stan Lee.
Why would he be in this movie?
It's Spider-Man?
What's up right now?
I'm in a movie right now.
Even though he invented it, why
are you wait, whoa, I'm talking about Bobby right now. I'm trying to get the pop star. I'm your mother, okay?
Hey, Mom, how's the pasta
Can you
going?
please?
Yeah, get money, 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 yeah.
What the actual?
Okay. My pet peeve is like, I'm sitting at home, opening up Snapchat, I'm just scrolling through people's stories, and next thing you know, like, I couldn't get tickets to like a Cruella concert, but don't worry, Emily can just put her whole concert on her story. Everyone else, you know, I don't pay for concert tickets anymore. I just turn up my speaker really loud and watch because everyone feels the need to put the whole concert on their story.
You know what my pet peeve is? Okay, my biggest pet peeve is when people, oh my god, it makes me so angry. When people drink iced coffee, when the ice is completely melted and it's like inside the coffee, all mixed together. I don't know about you, but that is the grossest thing I've ever seen. And there's people in our school, like, not gonna say any names, they literally have their coffee all watered down by 8th period, and I cannot stand it. Like, if I could write tickets for that, I would, because it annoys me so much, and I don't think anyone should do it. And I don't know, it just really bothers me, and when anyone does it, I judge them, so.
Jade, excuse me? You are a disappointment to society. Are you kidding me? What is this? What is this? You're disgusting. Goodbye.
Well, since we're talking about pet peeves, my pet peeve is when people don't say thank you when I do something nice for them. Like, are you serious? I literally take the time out of my day to do something nice for you, and you're not even gonna have the audacity to say thank you. Like, are you joking? Like, this is literally ridiculous. It makes me so angry. Are you serious? Is he serious?
If you cuss me that, what about?
Give me back. No. Give me back. Give me back. Are you serious, Jeff? You're not gonna say thank you? This is the second time I did something nice for you. You don't say thanks. Is it that hard to say thank you? Oh my God.
So since we're all talking about pet peeves here, I might have to say, this is a really hard one. Who's my pet peeve? Jeffrey Anthony Salamone.
Excuse me?
That concludes it for the pet peeves for Monthly Rewind. Yeah. Everyone gets ticked off of certain things, even certain people, I guess. Tune in next month for our final May show. This is Emily reporting from Monthly Rewind Season 22.
That was Emily's mail time, and thanks for tuning in to our April show. I mean, sadly, there's only one more left of this season, but tune in next time. It's going to be a great one.
You can say the bill is for $5,000 a night or something.
Yo, what's good?
I just had a bowel movement.
Ooh, I like it.
Well, look at her or look at me.
Oh, I can't look at her.
Actually, okay,
You're too beautiful. I can't look at you, Josh. What is the theme? They don't know what the theme is.
I told them the space thing.
Oh, they already know it's space? I really enjoyed...
You really enjoyed what?
I thought that was a good accompaniment with the... oh, yeah. Have you ever met anybody from New Hampshire? Like, actually? All right, so you got the Earth, right? It's completely flat. It's just right here, right? The dinosaurs are living, you know, it's all good in the hood. Now, can I use your phone as a meteor? Okay, so a lot of people think the meteor hit and boom, you know, Earth, it kind of messed up a little, right? Well, the meteor actually hit and flipped over, right? So the dinosaurs are down here now with Velcro shoes so they don't fall off. We're living up here, we're living a life, the sun's beating down on us. Now, the Bermuda Triangle. This is the gateway between the dinosaur realm and the human world. So, Amelia Earhart, we all know, she's gone, right? Her plane actually went through that little gateway, so she's living with the dinosaurs, they're buddies. They're trying to warm up our side, so they're blowing, they're like, all the hot air onto our side, and that's global warming.
Okay,
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Go through. Go.
Just one.
Go
Just one.
You're blocking me. Do you know what's worse?
Yo, play that one more time in slow-mo.
Can I watch that real quick? Please stop.
How I just pulled a muscle.
Stop, let me.
Am I on?
Yes, you've been on for 5 minutes.
How do you spell unnecessary? Because I can never spell it.
UNECESSARY.
Yep.
No, there's
No,
two
there's
N's.
2 N's. Alright, thank you. Because I always type it in and then autocorrect like doesn't change it, so I never know how to spell it.
Autocorrect corrects the correct spelling of probably to.
And then it puts like
probably.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is probably?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't for honestly, it does it to me. It does honesty, and then it's like what?
I don't get it.
What, the drink honesty?
It puts. I think I typed it wrong once. Then it's like we are going to spell it like that all the time. I don't want to spell like that.
The bloopers are gonna be so good.
Wait, we did.